Welcome back to the Celtics Nation Rise recap. I'm Griffin Aldrich. Alongside me, we got my two great co-hosts, Andrew Quinn and Carl McDonald. You guys, the Boston Celtics have clinched a playoff spot tonight. Let's go, first of all. Second of all, the Boston Celtics won their game tonight against the Charlotte Hornets with a final score of 114-99. I got to tell you guys, this was a game where as you guys know, we struggled against last time. We struggled against the Hornets and we ended up losing that game. However, we come back and we bounce back tonight and get a win. And not only a little win, we got a 15-point win without no Derek White, no Jaylen Brown tonight. Great game. I think there's going to be a lot we're going to have to say about this game because it was a fun one. So I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. We'll start off with you, Andrew, and go to Carl. What are your thoughts after this huge win, playoff clinching win for the Boston Celtics?
Jason Tatum, the anomaly, whatever you want to call him, that man is back and he's looking healthy. And tonight, not having Jaylen Brown and not having Derek White was probably one of the biggest things for us because now Tatum gets rhythm. He gets the ball in his hands. He can really feel like he's taking charge. And you saw how he performed tonight. Amazing performance and really led the Celtics to a victory. On top of that, the Celtics just were ready to play tonight. Like we said, they lost to the Hornets. Tonight, they came out with fire, with energy. They were prepared. They knew their assignments. They knew their matchups, and they didn't underestimate this Hornets team. And that played a huge role in the Celtics coming away with a win. And then finally, the Stay Ready crew, they just continue to find ways to make impact. They're getting boards all the time, crashing the offensive glass, hitting timely threes, moving without the ball consistently, and just playing as a unit. This team is really, really special, and I think they're really hitting their stride at the right moment, at the right time, when it matters most. I'm excited, and they're going to continue to get better. I really believe that. I don't think they've hit their peak yet, and I think it's getting dangerous for the squad.
No, absolutely, Andrew, and absolutely, Griffin. Another great win from the Boston Celtics here tonight, taking care of business on Charlotte's, arena in Charlotte's arena without Jaylen Brown and without Derek White. Absolutely impressive and incredible. And for Jason Tatum to essentially have to lead this team, very much necessary, as now we have our answer to see if Tatum is truthfully ready. I feel like this answer was given to us, a game or two ago, but now we're really for sure given that answer in tonight's game here. Of course, we'll talk more about that a little bit later, but 32 points, the first 30 bombs since he tore his Achilles. This guy at this point is 95 to 100% ready. He's getting there. He's getting, within rhythm, as Andrew alluded to as well. He's really getting more acclimated within the Boston Celtics, and he is given this, huge responsibility to not only play alongside this team, but lead them. And he did so in a fantastic way, not just helping to beat the Hornets, but of course, blowing them out, as you guys had also talked about. There was that narrative, initially when we had went up against the Charlotte Hornets. Funny enough, the game before Jason Tatum had came back, how people were saying, oh, the Hornets are going to be a scary team, a dangerous team. I'm scared to face off against them. I don't think that's, going to necessarily be a problem because although, yes, they've been a hot team and they've been definitely a sneaky team, they haven't, met a team like this Boston Celtics team yet. Yes, of course, they bested us before, but we learned from that, and that showed in tonight's game here. I don't know what else there else is to say. The Boston Celtics continue this trend of winning games when they're supposed to. You go from beating the defending champion OKC Thunder to another gritty team and dark horse team in the Eastern Conference in the Atlanta Hawks. And now you beat one of the hottest teams in the NBA, the Hornets, back-to-back wins. And again, Jason Tatum is leading after such a devastating injury.
I will say, though, I do want to say one thing. I still don't want to play this Hornets team. Like, I still think they're a really good squad. Don't get me wrong. They got a lot of firepower. They're young. They got something to prove. And tonight, obviously, Con Knipple didn't really play his best game. Brandon Miller didn't really get as hot as he would have, and he's a really he's a player that can really pour in the points. And so I still think this team is dangerous. I still think you don't want to see this team because I think tonight they were a little slower. I think they came off this was a back-to-back for them. So I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt in that area because I think they still have some firepower that I don't know if I necessarily want to mess with, or I'd rather mess with other teams other than the Hornets.
Well, I have to even say to you, Andrew, like this is a team that has Tosan Awoma as a two-way player who we interviewed, and like we've talked about him. He's more than capable of being on a roster spot, and he's just a two-way player. So that shows you how deep this team is as well. And Xavier Tillman is a bench guy on this team as well. So it just shows you how deep they are. But I'm gonna slide it over to you, Carl, if you don't mind getting into the differentials for the Boston Celtics tonight. The quarters, sorry, differentials, quarters, same thing, you know.
Appreciate it, Griffin. Thank you very much. As we see here, for the most part, sea of green. Again, we love to see that pretty much for the majority of the game. The Boston Celtics have been, leading. We see that starting off with the first quarter, then beating the Hornets by 6 points, 27-21. And then we see into the second quarter, them pretty much continuing that momentum, beating them 36-28. Get into that third quarter where it is tied, but the Celtics still find a way to essentially stay afloat and avoid losing that lead. And of course, that shows within the fourth quarter, although still very much close. The Celtics are still able to take it away, albeit by 1 point. And your biggest lead changes here. You have the Celtics up by 20 within the third quarter, a little bit later in that quarter. And then the Hornets, the only time that they had a lead was very early in the first quarter of the game. There were 4 lead changes, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day as the Celtics were able to pretty much have a wire-to-wire win, and again, giving us this beautiful visual of the sea of green.
Gotta love that sea of green. Gotta love it, Carl. And I gotta say, for the Celtics tonight as well, you see them out rebounding the Hornets just narrowly tonight. But what really stuck out to me tonight was the turnover battle, which I should have highlighted in green, but forgot on that one. Which the Celtics only had 5 turnovers tonight, so that was great. And one, I'm throwing a little shade because I was a little disappointed, but one came from Amari. We got to work on that. We love Amari, though. We love Amari. And then 11 from the Hornets. So just even being able to have such a low amount of turnovers, which is what I think really propelled them. But what most importantly propelled the Boston Celtics tonight was their shooting percentage. They shot 50.6 tonight from the field. And then the Hornets shot 43.4. So we just simply outshooted the Hornets. And this is a Hornets team that's coached by Charles Lee. I mean, they're going to shoot the rock. And you mentioned, Andrew, tonight, there were some bad shooting numbers tonight. But, you look at this team from the Hornets, and they scare me sometimes because they're coached by Charles Lee, and they could go on runs and easily have a 50% shooting night. Like, I mean, the Celtics, we see it, but now Charles Lee is bringing that coaching that he learned from Coach Mazzulla now over to Charlotte. So it's when you face the Hornets, you're gonna see pretty much your own game essentially at times. So
yeah, and I will say late in this game, I mean, yes, the Celtics won, but the Hornets were slowly creeping back in, right? They start off a little slow, but towards the end, I mean, Celtics, as Griffin would say, couldn't let their foot off the gas. I mean, they had to go pedal to the metal and keep pushing forward. So I will say, like, yes, great win, and I think we got to celebrate it, right? This is a big time win, and I really love the way the Celtics just respond, right? Every time during the season, I think that's been the biggest thing for me. Something goes wrong, something doesn't happen. You lose Vucevic. All right, we're gonna bring Queta and guards are gonna step back into their roles and fill it. You don't have Tatum for the beginning of the season. You respond. You don't dwell on it, and you just find ways to win. And I think the Celtics team is really, really good at just winning basketball games and finding ways to win those margins. And tonight the Celtics did that. But the Hornets are a good team, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like them, and like I said, they got that firepower. Like, they could really, really score like you said, the rock and find a way to kind of keep the game close.
Can I say something really quick too? I'm gonna put myself in the spotlight because I'm gonna brag really quick. I'm gonna brag. At the beginning of the season, we were doing season predictions with Marty the Meat Man, and I put the Celtics at the 10th seed. I mean, not Celtics, Hornets at the 10th seed, and everyone thought I was crazy for that. And I said, "Watch, Hornets are going to have a good year. They have a team like I called it too, and I know people are going to call me crazy, but when the Pistons were getting good, I was like, they have a team full of role players." And you put that together, I mean, and look where the Pistons are now. And it was that first year where they started doing good, and I was like, all right, I thought they were going to do a little bit better. Now with the Hornets, and we have video proof to even prove me saying
I was
this.
gonna say we have that.
Yeah, like with the Pistons, you guys could say, all right, he was lying, whatever. I don't have proof. You guys could just take my word.
Hey, we trust you, Griffin. We trust you here, Griffin.
But
no LeBron. It's not LeBron in the media saying, "Oh, no, I knew that was happening." 100%.
Might as well go for 7 now.
Yeah. Oh, I knew Bam was dropped. 83 for Bam. I knew that, man. It was in the air. It was in the air.
But with the Hornets, though, there's video proof. I mean, like I said, look, team full of role players. I see it like with the Pistons, and they've even burnt out my expectations a little bit this year because, again, you see how well they're doing. But still, I gotta say, I gotta give myself some light. But Andrew, I'll switch it over to you if you don't mind getting into the Hornets points tonight.
Of course. Con Knipple, he shot 5 for 13 from the field, 13 points. Miguel Bridges, 5 for 9, 14 points. Diabate, we shut him down tonight, only 4 points, and he's a guy that he could go off and he can really impact the game. And I thought we did a really, really good job at containing him and keeping him under control. Brandon Miller, only 13 as well. Once again, I think defensively, we were really together as a unit and we understood our assignments. We were able to come off the ball, come off and double and just disrupt the offense. I really, really enjoy the Celtics defense because they always know who's on the court at what time, right? Like they understand, oh, this guy can't shoot. All right, I'm going to come double you and make you pass it to him. And we're going to kind of just get the ball out of your hands. They just do a really good job at not letting the star player kind of get flowing and get that rhythm. And tonight they did that. LaMelo Ball, only 19. I thought defensively he didn't play too well tonight. I thought we did a good job at attacking him at times. You could hear Joe Mazzulla all the time. Hey, let's get a screen. Let's get a switch. Let's get him on Tatum. And they did that. Let's get him on Tatum. And they did that tonight. And Tatum took advantage of it clearly. Josh Green, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and the rest of the stats were 0 across the board. So he struggled. Kalkbrenner, we friggin' went at him in the pick and roll. I mean, it was hard to have him on the floor tonight, and he was getting just diced up. And Kobe White, 11. He was hot in the beginning of the game, but he cooled off, thankfully. And then Zion James, 11. And his poor Duke team, man, that's tough. They lost on that buzzer beater. You guys know Tommy. Tommy's that Connecticut fan. Carl, you're a UConn fan too?
We were just talking about that.
The New Englanders, man.
The New Englanders. Hey, I'm a UConn fan now. No.
But, Carl, Tommy, and I have legitimate reasons to be.
Yeah, you got Connecticut.
We were all born in Connecticut. Yep. We were all born in Connecticut.
I got to be like BC or something. That sucks. They're terrible. I got to root for Quentin Post.
Why? Where were you?
That's it.
No, I'm not going to ask where you were born on here, Andrew. That's given out.
I don't care.
Not too much. I was born in – wait. You were
born and raised, Massachusetts.
Yeah, born in Mass.
Yeah, and then Trey Mann, nothing. And then Pat Connaughton, that's my guy. I went to one of his camps, actually, at St. John's Prep, and I was taking photos of him. He's a good dude, so I'm glad to see. He's a nice veteran presence, so shout out Pat Connaughton, man. Good dude. And Xavier Tillman, so shout out him too.
Yeah, and gotta say, I love Liam McNeely. He's a UConn guy too. He played at UConn.
I think I missed him. 10 points. Yeah.
I know a UConn guy was on not Houston, the Hornets. I forgot who though.
Yeah,
they were probably battling tonight.
Right. They're probably. I wonder if Zion James has a dare. Maybe he has to wear like a UConn jersey to the next game or something.
Oh, that would be
like Derek White did. What did they do that? That was like
Patriots.
Patriots. Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. But for the Celtics tonight, Amari Williams got in at the end of it. 1 rebound, that's it. And the turnover, I'm a little aggressive about that. But again, nothing against Amari. He's young, he's talented. And that's one thing that we were saying, Andrew, that we were a little disappointed on him. Like when he was having his performances, was his not a lot of effort to rebound, but tonight got a rebound, so can't complain.
I feel like sometimes he could be a little more physical down there and like impose his will. But we talked about it. He's a raw talent. Like I think he did show out in a lot of these games, and he at that Brooklyn game and a couple other games, like he had impact, right? He definitely showed us what he's capable of, but the consistency isn't necessarily all there, and he's not stringing together like consistent minutes at the moment, and that's fine. He hasn't got all the opportunities, right? But I mean, I really like his raw talent and what the potential he has. It's just right now we gotta grow it, right? You gotta cultivate it, and we're gonna get there. Yeah,
we'll definitely see that within the next few games going into the postseason. Honestly, I'm
right, that too, which I hope so. Because you never know. You really never know what could go down in playoffs. I mean, you just don't know. And knock on wood, no one gets injured. You hope so. Like Vucevic comes back and we get good, but you really just don't know. And having a guy like Amari Williams on your bench, like you might have to go to him. You just you don't know. And how can we get Amari Williams as ready as possible to make an impact? That's what we need to do right now.
Carl, do you want to add anything else to that?
No, absolutely. Just getting him as acclimated as much as we can in any type of situation. More than likely, we'll see him in in the last few games going into the postseason, maybe even the next few games. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd love to see Ron Harper get more minutes too, man.
Oh, please.
I know we're going to talk about it, but he had 7 points tonight, and I'd like to see him kind of get the ball in his hands a little more in these later games and just see if he can catch fire and catch rhythm going into the playoffs, because he is that volume, like confident scorer. And we watched him in the main Celtics. He can shoot the crap out of it. He can control the pace. He can get to the rim. Like he is talented. And so I just want to see him get a couple more minutes here. Yeah, let's hope he's okay. Let's hope he's healthy. I think he'll be fine. But let's just see if he can get a couple minutes and potentially really, really catch fire and be like a strong force for the Celtics in this playoffs.
Yeah. And it'll come for Amari. It will. Shulga tonight,
definitely will.
Big goose egg, 2 minutes, 0. Charles Bassey, again, this is a guy who should be given more minutes on this 10-day contract, because even the minute he was out there, he has a point and a put back, got fouled, didn't get the points, but went to the line. So love that for him. Luka Garza did not play a lot tonight, only 13 minutes, and that's because they kind of went small ball tonight. 2 points, a rebound, 2 assists, shot 100% though. Hugo Gonzalez, it's weird to see him in the negatives for plus minus, was negative 12 tonight. But tonight in 13 minutes, 3 points, 3 rebounds, shot 50% and a steal. Sam Hauser, 7 points, 3 rebounds and shot 50%. Walsh, we've been talking about him. It's funny. We did that podcast and people have been injured and he's been getting time tonight. Played 34 minutes, 3 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, but shot 14.3% tonight, which you don't want to see from Walsh. But overall, great game. Now, the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, we have his biggest fan here in the comments right now.
Go sign him. Don't worry. I know we're getting close to it. Don't worry. Stay strong.
We'll sign him. Don't worry. We got that. We'll get that graphic ready. They're signing him last day.
It's gonna be a beautiful graphic just for you, Ron Harper, Jr.
fan. Can't wait. Great. I'm waiting for time. I used to pray for times like this. Ron. What is there not to say about Ron though tonight? 14 minutes, got put in early, and if it wasn't for tonight, and no Derek White, it's like, Ron would have played the same amount of Jordan Walsh if Ron never got injured. However, you saw it, he kind of went on the ankle, sprained the ankle, did come back though, but didn't really get a lot of time tonight. 7 points, 3 rebounds, assist, a steal, a block, shot 100%. As Ron Harper Jr. fan page likes to say, 3 for 3 tonight. Great night from Ron Harper Jr. Not enough great things to say. And I think tonight, hot take, if he didn't get injured, he'd be definitely in the mention for CNR MVP tonight. Gotta say. Next up, though, Bonfire Baylor tonight, who I would say took over in a sense. 14 points, 3 assists, a rebound, shot 36.4% from the field goal. Good night for Baylor. Good night. Next up, though, Neemias Queta, who had 17 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, and shot 61.5% from the field goal. Great game again from Neemias Queta. Like, you love to see him scoring. You love it when he scores a lot. And tonight, 17 points. Gotta love it. That just adds on to it. But then we have Peyton Pritchard tonight for the Boston Celtics, who I think we could put him in mention for CNR MVP tonight. Played 37 minutes, had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 55.6% from the field goal tonight. He took over at points in this game too, where it was just Pritch, and I loved it. But lastly, as you guys mentioned, Jason Tatum tonight, who played 31 minutes, had 32 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, a block, and shot 52.2% from the field goal. Not enough great things to say about Jason Tatum. I mean, I'm sure you're going to hear his name again very shortly, but by far his best performance coming back from this Achilles injury. So not enough great things to say about him. But I think it's time, you guys. CNR MVP talk. Got a lot of great options tonight. And do you guys mind if I go first tonight? I want to throw it at you.
Go for it.
I'm going to go. You guys are going to be shocked with this one. Jason Tatum. I don't think it's a big shocker.
I'm not glad. I thought you were going Baylor Shireman. I really did.
I thought you were
thought you were going Baylor Shireman.
You know, it was between Tatum and Ron Harper Jr. If he didn't go down with that injury, we could have been talking about him. We could have for sure. But Jason Tatum tonight, I mean, 32 points. Took it over at first. I mean, I thought he would have went for 40 tonight. Jeez. No, but in all seriousness, had a phenomenal game. And we've been worried about Jason Tatum, and we said at the beginning of the season, like, we've had people in and out of this program saying, like, what if he's never the same? Well, you guys, I don't think there's any need to worry, because Jason Tatum is going to be better than he is when he left with this Achilles injury. I think next year, you look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they both might be, I don't know if this is even possible, but they both might be in discussion for MVP next year, because I think how hot of a season both of them are going to have. But I'm going Jason Tatum would be second. Who do you guys have, though?
I'm going to go Jason Tatum as well. And it's just because tonight it honestly felt less of even a Celtics game and more of the Jason Tatum show, right? Like, it's just him, dude. It was like when you're watching the game, it's just, his presence was it was felt, and you could just, like, it was him. He was leading the game. He was taking charge. He was creating on the offensive end. He was knocking down big time shots. He had 2 threes. He had 1 3 from 30 feet out, another 3 from 28 feet out in the span of, I don't even know how long, not very long. I mean, and that was my fear early on, is his 3-point shots, right? I think we all kind of were worried about it. He was kind of struggling, and I think he just needed to get his legs under him, right? And I think he just needed to get that back in basketball shape, because we say it all the time. The NBA, nothing can prepare you really for the NBA and what it takes to play in a game. Obviously, you have to do the conditioning and in the season, and I mean in the off season, and get to a certain point, but you just can't replicate it. You can't. And so I think he's found his rhythm and found his legs back. And like, he had a step back 3, right? And I think that's something that I was scared about too, is like pushing off that Achilles, right? And his confidence there, and he was doing it. So Jason Tatum showed tonight, he's the MVP, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, we're going to go unanimous here. I'm also going for Jason Tatum. Very hot from the beginning. You know, as you mentioned, Andrew and Griffin, how he was very productive in this game here tonight. It felt like almost the good old days where we would see him, you know, putting up these 30-point plus performances in the regular season or even in the postseason. It felt like Jason Tatum again for the first time in a while. Jaylen Brown and Derek White being out was almost a blessing in disguise. Yes, of course, we would want those guys to get better, wishing them speedy recovery. But for them to be out, it allowed for Jason Tatum to truthfully show that, hey, this injury is not going to define him. In fact, it's going to be the very thing that pushes him back into a position in which, he feels that he should be a part of and that he should be a part of. And that's to be one of the best players in the NBA today. He really did show that here tonight. He was absolutely a great leader. And for people still saying, oh, he's going to ruin, the team's chemistry and, oh, he's not going to come back the same, this game proved otherwise. This, of course, goes down as Jason Tatum's best performance thus far in this season, as he puts up a season high of 32 points. Again, great on the on the offensive end, but also the defensive end as well too. And yeah, you were also scared about the step back three, Andrew. I was also scared about him putting up that dunk early in that game too. That's definitely something we look for. But if he's not scared, then I feel like we should be a bit more comfortable too. Not to say like we shouldn't be scared, but
Is that kind of like his first dunk? I feel like going to the rack. I think he maybe has had a couple, but he's been a little I feel like he's typically just laying it up a little or getting that contact. But for him to rise up and dunk it like that, that's very hopeful and good to see in his progression.
Driving to the hoop, yes, I think that's his first dunk.
Dunk, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good to see.
It's fantastic.
So you guys, do we get a little? Oh, Carl, do you have anything else you wanted to say though? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That's right.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm all set.
All right. I think we gotta get a drum roll here, Andrew. CNR MVP, Jason Tatum for the second time this season. And I'm telling you guys,
let's go.
There's not a lot of games left in this season, but we might see him rise up on the leaderboard.
No pun intended. Celtics Nation rise. There you go.
Like what we're doing there. But not enough great things to say about him. But final thoughts, you guys. Final thoughts. We'll start off with you, Quinn. Go around. What are your final thoughts after this big win and a ticket punch to the playoffs? Celtics officially clinched tonight. Whew.
Shout out to Celtics Nation and all of the fans tonight that were at the Hornets arena. It looked like the TD Garden was in Charlotte tonight, and those fans were chanting, they were cheering, they had high energy, and they were out supporting their team tonight. Shout out to them, and we're going to need the fans come playoff time when we get going, because we just clinched a playoff spot in a year, as Jaylen Brown said, that people thought was going to be a gap year. We just clinched the playoffs.
I was right about to mention that.
We just clinched the playoffs. So guess what? Anyone that doubted us, anyone that thought they weren't going to get to where they want to go, stay on that side. We're going to go win a championship, and we're going to prove why we're the best team in this league.
Got me fired up right there, Andrew, gotta say.
Before the season even started, of course, there were predictions about where the Celtics were going to be. Of course, there were talks of just take it as a gap year. You're not going to make it to the playoffs. Even Bleacher Report making their post, which I also posted on my own Instagram, personal Instagram, and in the recap video that I did on my own as well, that they had us at 37-45. They didn't even have us winning 40 games. We are going to finish the season winning at least 50 games, gentlemen. And Andrew, something you alluded to earlier in this season as well, too. Now that it escaped my mind, I don't even know why. But I remember you had said something about this team. Just in general, keeping up the hope, just keeping up all the hard work, and just all the determination. Again, this team is playing with a sense of urgency, playing as if this is going to be the last time they play with one another, which I would hope not, but they're playing with nothing left to lose. That's what this, team represents. Of course, we had the dominant season, and we had the season where we were the champs, but weren't really getting it going like this or getting it going like that. Seeing this team is probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever witnessed in my personal life, because, again, we lost so much and made the most out of it. We lost Tatum before the season even started and got him back, and look where he is now. Jaylen Brown, there were doubts about him, but he's having an MVP level season and should be making a first team All NBA before this season's all said and done. There were the questions about inconsistencies from Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser, yet they still find it somehow in some way to be productive for this team. The guys you have in Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, Hugo Gonzalez, and others were never meant to be these stars to help us, really succeed and grow. It was just supposed to be a development year for those guys as we're still trying to figure out this gap year of some sorts. Yet, this is just the most rewarding time to be a Boston Celtics fan outside of winning a championship. Mm-hmm. And I firmly believe that we can actually get the job done. We can actually get number 19 this season, just because of the determination, hard work, and sacrifice that we have had played with for the last however many games we've had.
Yeah. And if Joe Mazzulla doesn't win Coach of the Year, I'm going to be pissed. I really, really am. I actually am going to be really mad because this team, you have a bunch of young guys on your roster that have never played NBA minutes in their entire lives. And you just instilled confidence in them. You gave them the tickets. Joe Mazzulla put his trust into them. And he said, you guys got it. I believe in you. I know what you're capable of. He saw what others didn't see in them. And to me, that's a coach. That's a man who understands what it takes to win, not just on a basketball side of things, but on a human level. That's a man that knows how to win. And I think you give him the coach because he sets an example to all the coaches across the league, across the entire world, no matter what level you coach at, how you treat your players and how you create a successful organization.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Hallelujah. You guys got me all fired up now. I'm ready for playoffs to start right now. Let's bring it to us. What else do I even say? I'll put the cherry on top. I'll try to put the cherry on top here, but I don't know how else I'm gonna finish this up. You guys get me out of the water. I'm gonna sound Andrew. I'm gonna take your take a little to Jaylen Brown said 50 wins in a gap year. What is next year's store for us then? If this is a gap, like if we would say, knock on wood though. I don't want to jinx it, so knock on wood. Say we win the championship this year and we get to like how many games are left in the season? Like, I don't know. Like say we win the next 7 games. So I'm sure there's like 7 games left. Say we're like 57 wins and Celtics win the championship. What's in store for next year then? Are we going 82-0? I'm excited for that, but I gotta tell you what.
Oh, I wish.
This is year. What's happening next year? What's happening next year? But no, nothing else to say. You guys nailed it. But all I gotta say, and this is for Carl. Shout out the Cage Express, by the way. Everyone go check out Carl's TikTok. For not only Celtics content, you get all kinds of content, WWE content, pop culture content. You got everything. So go check out the Cage Express. We don't shout out it enough, but it's also in the description as well. So go check it out. Go give Carl a follow right now. Everyone get rid of this and go give Carl a follow and then come back and subscribe as well. But not enough great things to say. We have clinched the playoffs, you guys, and I gotta tell you, we'll be here again tomorrow as we recap the Atlanta Hawks game as well. So, with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to be notified every time we upload. We will see you guys tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. Make sure to tune back in here and subscribe and check out our vlog that we did at the main Celtics clinching game. Check that out after, and we will see you guys with the next one. Peace, you guys.
Later.